What do you want people to know about Latvia?
I want them to know that Latvia is not Lithuania and it is not a part of Russia.
When I talk to new people, often I hear that they don't know what is Latvia, and that's strange. My name is Jānis. I am 24 years old. I am from Latvia, and I've been living in Riga for the past 5 years now.
My name is Ieva. I'm 20 years old. I live in Riga because of my studies, but my home village is Elija.
Welcome to Latvia, a little-known Baltic country tucked away between Estonia, Lithuania, Russia and Belarus. This is a country of extremes. Its hot summers come with a festive atmosphere and lush greenery. Nothing like the bitter cold and snowy scenery of winter, when temperatures can go as low as -30 degrees Celsius. Since February 2022, it is not the sub-zero temperatures that the country fears, but a neighbour with whom Latvia shares a border of almost 300 kilometers, Russia. The war in Ukraine has reignited a fear that's been lingering since the annexation of Crimea in 2014, being attacked by Russian troops. This has fueled pre-existing tensions between the country's different communities and generations.
In my experience, people have compared me to a Russian, and we are actually a different culture because we have our own stories, we have our own tales, we have our own background, history.
One thing that I don't like in Latvia is that the communities are divided. It's justified why it's like that, and it's hard to be in the middle.
Ieva is no stranger to this in-between. She is Latvian by citizenship, but part of the Russian-speaking community, so she speaks Latvian with her friends and Russian with her family. A large number of communities live together in Latvia, and with good reason. In the 20th century, it experienced 3 consecutive invasions. The Soviet invasion between 1940 and 1941, which Latvians refer to as the Year of Horror. The Nazi occupation between 1941 and 1944, followed by the return of the Red Army, which remained until 1991. The past continues to have a considerable impact on the country's daily life. It is estimated that today, over a third of Latvia's population speaks Russian as the mother tongue.
I am speaking Latvian, I'm studying in Latvian, and my friends are Latvian. So yes, I can say that part of my family is Russian, but if someone will ask my nationality, I will say Latvian. We speak Russian when we are in some family events, when there is a grandmother. In that case, we speak Russian with each other because grandmother can understand us too. But when we are both, for example, going for a walk or I am visiting her, then we are speaking Latvian, mostly because it's easier for both of us. Flower.
Цветок.
Может быть. Но во вторник уже опять минут 5. Так что
If you, for example, go to different cities near the Russian border, Daugavpils, I think there is even more than 50% of Russians living there. So basically that country, that part of Latvia, you will only hear people talking in Russian. And funny fact, when you come to Riga, mostly you can hear only people speaking in Russian.
Latvia, marked by the Russian invasion of Georgia in 2008 and the annexation of Crimea in 2014, is pursuing a policy designed to reduce the use of the Russian language in the country. Since a right-wing coalition with nationalist overtones came to power in 2018, a law has made it compulsory for schools to only use Latvian. This process has been accelerated by the war in Ukraine, which began in 2022. Since the summer of 2023, it has become more difficult for Russian-speaking communities to live in Latvia without having citizenship. Those concerned must now pass a compulsory language test, failing which they will be expelled from the country. This set of measures prompted a reaction from Russian President Vladimir Putin.
When they continue to treat them like pigs, they will experience such filth in return.
One common thing that I face almost, I'd say, weekly, daily maybe, is when you hear Russian, it's something not so good. I would like to break this concept because I have many friends who are Russian.
When I was working in one shop, there was people who were just like, no, I will not talk Russian. They know Russian, they understand, but they just don't speak in Russian. If I would speak to them in Russian, they just don't answer me or will answer me in Latvian.
Since July 2023, the Latvian army has been recruiting en masse for fear of a Russian invasion. The aim is to increase the number of soldiers from 20 to 50,000 in 5 years. The government has reintroduced mandatory one-year military service, which had ceased in 2006. The first 2 rounds were made up of volunteers, but since January 2024, enlistment has been based on a draft lottery among young men aged between 18 and 27. Jānis' age group.
To be fair, I was not considering this, and I still have this feeling that I'm not going to be the one. Well, why? I'm 24. I will not be able to work if I have to join the full-time 11-month training. I will probably need to leave my apartment because I will not be able to pay about that. When I start to think about this, I get more and more concerned.
Recruits receive 600 euros per month if they join the army voluntarily, or 300 euros if they're randomly selected through the lottery system. For reference, the Latvian minimum wage is 700 euros.
Thinking about that Russia could invade Latvia doesn't bring me peace, because I'm afraid that could happen. Since the war started, my life changed a bit. I can't have a normal talk about the war with my family. I have been and volunteered for Ukrainians to help them to find a job in Latvia. This is the fact that my family doesn't know.
There are some people living here thinking that, and actually they are waiting for the same thing that happened to Ukraine to happen to Latvia too. And they are waiting and thinking that, oh, Russian army is going to come to Latvia and they are going to free us from Latvians. It's depressing to think that how can you even think about that someone coming to a different country, just invading, killing, and hoping for that to happen.
Maybe I am a bit afraid to speak Russian somewhere with someone. Before I was a bit proud that I'm Russian, like I have different nationality and something. Now I am not proud of it. Like not proud, but I'm just shy to speak about something like that. I don't like to talk about Russians in Latvia or Latvian and Russians relationship. It's hard for me.
To escape this often oppressive environment, Jānis finds refuge in his passion, folklore. More than just a dance, it's an essential pillar of Latvian culture. Every 5 years, the famous Latvian Song and Dance Festival brings the whole country together for 10 days. In 2023, the event attracted 500,000 spectators, which is a fourth of the country's population.
What often happens is that when there is that big dance event, so it was now 2023, next year there is a lot of people. I am not afraid that this is going to disappear, because this is our monument, this is our culture, and it's being cultivated wherever there is an event. I think you can try to look for Latvia, because definitely there is going to be at least one group performing our national dances.
Although Latvians are very attached to their culture, they often have a desire to move elsewhere. Since 1991, the country has seen a huge number of people emigrate, particularly young people of working age. This is due to a difficult economic situation, wages that are too low, and limited prospects for the future. With young people leaving the country, a low birth rate, an aging population, and virtually no immigration, the authorities are concerned that a potential demographic disaster is imminent.
Young people living in Latvia, they have a vision that Latvia is not the best place to live for working and to be able to earn money.
After I will finish university, I think about getting a job in Latvia, so to make some money, and after that I want to travel the world. In the future for my country, I really want peace between all communities.
I would like Latvia to stay safe. I want like to keep the same calmness we have. I would like for our culture to stay as friendly, or maybe for some people we are not so friendly at the beginning, but we are very trustworthy people.
I hope that everyone in this in this world will know about Latvia, because Latvia is really a great place.